Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and I wanted to share some tips with you on how to store your phones or your iPads, MacBooks, or whatever other lithium-ion or battery device you might have around. These tips will apply to those as well. As you can see, I have three older devices here. I have a 6 Plus, an iPhone 4S, and the original iPhone, and they all turn on and work just fine, and that's because I've been following these tips for years. This is 10 years plus old, or 10 years old. This one's pretty old, and they're all getting older, but they're lasting okay still. I even have an older iPod here as well that still works. It's a 4th generation iPod. You'll see it turns on. The battery's pretty low right now. I need to charge it back up, but it does turn on and it works just fine. So you can scroll through whatever you want and it does work. Now, the first thing you need to do is make sure it's in a cool, dry place, a moisture-free environment that's less than 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 32 degrees Celsius. If you put them in hotter environments, it may degrade the battery over time. Now, the second thing you want to do is pretty obvious, is power it down when you're not using it. So when you're done, just turn it off, power it down, make sure that it's off so that it's not using battery in the background. The most important thing, though, is to charge it to 50% before you put it away. So, for example, if you look here, this is the 4S. It's charged to about 50%. The iPhone 6 Plus is about the same. You'll see here, it's about the same. And then, again, on the original iPhone, it's gone down a little bit, but I'll charge that in a little bit and bring it back up to 50% before I put it away. And that will keep the battery over time. Now, Apple suggests for all of these devices, iPads included, that you make sure that these are charged. This one's at 69%. You make sure these are charged over time and make sure you charge them every 6 months or so. Take them out of storage and recharge them back up. If you've only got a couple devices, that's not too big of a deal, but if you have a bunch like this, it can be a little bit of a pain, but just take them out every 6 months or so, charge them back up to 50%, turn them back off, and shut them down. Now, if you bring it out of storage and it's off and it won't turn on, it may take up to 20 minutes to charge these back up so that they come on. So sometimes these devices are depleted at that point and they need to charge back up. But it's very important not to store them at 0% charge because that can do something that allows it to fall into a deep discharge state, which basically makes it incapable of holding a charge again. Also, if you store this at 100% for an extended period of time, the battery may lose some capacity. So maybe it's a 2000 milliamp hour battery. It may degrade to 1800 milliamp hours, and that's the maximum it can hold if you leave it fully charged when it's stored. So just make sure you do that. Put these away at 50% and come back and check them every so often. This is true of Android phones, just basically battery maintenance in general. So if you want your devices to last like I do, so I can share iOS 9, iOS 6, or any of the other ones with you, that's what I do to keep it running right. If you have any other questions or comments, though, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.